Good evening. My name is Lorna Dempster, and I am here to welcome you to the Midweek Mindfulness Meditation Service at Center for Spiritual Living, Kansas City. We offer this time on Wednesday evenings to take a pause from all that you are engaged in, to step away from all of the things that are influencing you, simply giving you the opportunity to be a part of the oneness that is God, and to feed on the energy and the love that it conveys. This evening I have a couple of little things to share with you, but I am focusing this evening on happiness, since we just celebrated life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Let us pray. God is a feeling deep within my being, and I rejoice in its aliveness. It is my life, my truth, my joy, my peace, everything that I am. And because of this, I go forth shining. Because God is, I am. Just knowing the truth that God is the feeling deep within me, I radiate the glow of joy. I reflect God's light in all I think and say, feel and do. In that light, I find my way. My path is well defined, and I step forth confident in the knowledge that God's light forever shines, and that I reflect that light into my world. I go forth shining, in pursuit. My thankful heart releases any shadows. I step out of my darkness and revel in the light, and so it is. So there's a lot of words and a lot of books and a lot of stories all about the pursuit of happiness. But happiness is directly and consciously related to appreciation. And that's the direction I'd like to travel this evening. I invite you to just be comfortable, to listen to these words. Allow them to bring to light for you whatever it is that you are seeking. The first story is called The Black Telephone. Written by a man named Wayne. When I was a young boy, my father had one of the first telephones in our neighborhood, and I remember the polished old case fastened to the wall. The shiny receiver hung on the side of the box. I was too little to reach the telephone, but I used to listen with fascination when my mother talked to it. And then I discovered that somewhere inside the wonderful device lived an amazing person. Her name was Information Please, and there was nothing she did not know. My personal experience with the genie in the bottle came one day while my mother was visiting a neighbor. I was amusing myself at the tool bunch in the basement, and I whacked my finger with a hammer. The pain was terrible, terrible. But there seemed no point in crying because there was no one home to give me sympathy. So I walked around the house sucking my throbbing finger and finally arrived at the stairway. The telephone. Quickly, I ran for the footstool in the parlor and dragged it to the landing. Climbing up, I unhooked the receiver in the parlor and held it to my ear. Information, please, I said into the mouthpiece just above my head. A click or two, and a small, clear voice spoke into my ear. Information. I hurt my finger, I wailed into the phone, and the tears came readily enough now that I had an audience. Isn't your mother home? Came the question. Nobody's home but me, I blubbered. Are you bleeding? The voice asked. No, I hit my finger with a hammer and it hurts. Can you open the icebox? She asked. I said I could. Then chip off a little bit of ice and hold it to your finger, said the voice. Well, that worked. And after that, I called information please for everything. I asked her for help with my geography, and she told me where Philadelphia was. She helped me with my math, and she told me the pet chipmunk that I had caught in the park just the day before would eat fruit and nuts. And then there was the time Petey, our pet canary, died. I called, information please, and I told her the sad story. She listened, and then she said things grown-ups say to soothe the child, but I was not consoled. I asked her, why is it that birds should sing so beautifully and bring joy to all families only to end up as a heap of feathers on the bottom of a cage? She must have sensed my deep concern, for she said quietly, Wayne, always remember that there are other worlds to sing in. Somehow, I felt better. And another day I was on the telephone. Information, please. Information, said the now familiar voice. How do I spell fix? I asked. All this took place in a small town in the Pacific Northwest. When I was 9 years old, we moved across the country to Boston, and I was going to miss my friend very much. Information, please, belonged in that old wooden box back home, and I somehow never thought of trying the new shiny phone that sat on the table in the hall. As I grew into my teens, the memories of those childhood conversations never really left me. I would recall the serene sense of security that I had then. I appreciated how patient, understanding, and kind she was to have spent her time on a little boy. So a few years later, on my way to college, my plane put down in Seattle. I had about a half an hour or so between planes, and I spent 15 minutes or so on the phone with my sister who lived there now. Then, without thinking what I was doing, I dialed my hometown operator and said, information, please. Miraculously, I heard the small, clear voice I knew so well. Information. I hadn't planned on this, but I heard myself saying, could you please tell me how to spell fix? There was a long pause. Then came the soft-spoken answer. I guess your finger must be healed by now. So it's really you, I said. I wonder if you have any idea how much you meant to me during that time. Oh, she said, I wonder if you know how much your calls meant to me. I never had any children, and I used to look forward to your calls. I told her how often I had thought of her over the years and asked if I could call her again when I came back to visit my sister. Please do, she said. Just ask for Sally. Well, it just so happened that 3 months later I was back in Seattle, and a different voice answered, information. I asked for Sally. Are you a friend? She said. Yes, my name is Wayne. I'm a very old friend, I answered. Well, she said, I'm sorry to have to tell you this. Sally had been working part-time the last few years because she was sick, and she died 5 weeks ago. Before I could hang up, she said, wait a minute. Did you say your name was Wayne? Yes, I answered. Well, Sally left a message for you. She wrote it down in case you called. Let me read it to you. The note said, tell him there are other worlds to sing in. He'll know what I mean. I thanked her and hung up because I did know what Sally meant and what she meant to me, and how in my pursuit of comfort and security, she was there in such a small and yet significant way. In the book, The Power of Appreciation by Noelle C. Nelson, and also by Jeannine LeMare Calaba, they speak of valuing. The valuing aspect of appreciation is a dynamic energy. It engages your mind. When you value something or someone, you actively use your mind to think of it, why it matters to you, what it's worth to you. It helps us in the worlds of finance. It helps that grow in value, and it helps us with the rest of our lives. A house is just a space until it is filled with the people and things that you cherish, and only then is it called a home. Because you choose what you think, you can deliberately select thoughts that value something or someone, rather than thoughts that devalue that person or that thing. Consciously choosing to value the people and the things in your life is what makes it possible for you to use appreciation proactively. You don't have to wait for something pleasing in order to start valuing. You could choose to value something or someone before they have contributed anything at all to your life. Because the act of proactively valuing transforms gratitude from an after-the-fact expression of feeling to a before-the-fact, deliberate engaging of energy. This is the energy of appreciation. And this is how we should pursue happiness, with appreciation. We have within us this power of divine love. It's not floating around in the air or sitting in a fluffy cloud waiting to rain down on us and wash all away our problems. Divine love is what we radiate outward, and it is not what you think of as human love. In divine love, there are no conditions, no rules, no need to be thankful or reciprocated. The blessings pour out from you rather than going to God for your blessings. Let them pour out of you. Let them pour out from you rather than going to God for your blessings, because you are the instrument through which this grace flows. If you are to raise and maintain your spiritual energy, you must keep uppermost in mind that you are willing to allow divine love to solve the problem. That you pursue the happiness by being part of the happiness. Rudolf Steiner observed in the book, There's a Spiritual Solution to Every Problem by Wayne Dyer, if we do not develop within ourselves this deeply rooted feeling that there is something higher than ourselves, we shall never find the strength to evolve to something higher. Divine love is not truly higher than yourself, but it is higher than the physical or ego self you've come to believe is you. You already are this divine love, and you can radiate it outward and aim it at your unmet needs once you begin acknowledging that it does exist. Some say that the pursuit of happiness is unnecessary. That by pursuing it, we are making it happen or trying to make it happen, rather than recognizing that it is happening. Happiness is ours for the taking. So I invite you now to think about that. To consider all of the things in your life that make you happy, real or imagined, dreams or truth. those things that when you think of them, spark an emotion of love, of gratitude, of value. I invite you to take the ideas that come into your mind during this time that feed the concern of lack or frustration or feelings of inadequacy. Let them all go, because this is your time. You get to do with this time whatever you want. So choose the good, choose the love, choose to recognize what is beautiful, choose to imagine how who you are and what you want and need in this life is feeding energy back out into the universe and creating all that is yours to claim. Pursue happiness by simply recognizing that it is so. Get comfortable. Put your hands together so that your palms are up against each other. Breathe. Allow your shoulders to relax and your arms. And as you do so, you may recognize that your hands are not so deeply pressed against each other as they were when you first began this. That by allowing your body to relax, your hands have softened and loosened their grip. You may notice that your palms now have a gap in between them, whereas your fingertips are still deeply connected to one another. Loosen your grip. Take a nice, easy breath. And as you exhale, allow your jaw to relax. Form a smile or a grin. And capture what that feels like so you can return to it whenever you need to. Focus on your hands again and recognize the energy that is transferring between them. You are connected to everything you need. Breathe. If you have closed your eyes during this meditation, that's great, perfect, whatever you need. But I would like you to take a moment and follow the activity taking place in the lava lamp. I want you to recognize that without the warmth of the energy that is moving within it, the wax would not be flexible, would not float, would not connect itself to itself and create new shapes. And so it is with our minds. We have new thoughts and new ideas. We can follow the same patterns, seeking things for ourselves, pursuing our desired goals. But without that energy that we possess, that this lamp possesses, that God possesses and operates through and for us. It is the community of this energy that helps life unfold in the most wonderful of ways. And simply recognizing that whatever experience you have with anyone, as you move through your life, it is those experiences, shared and separate, that give us perspective, that give us the freedom to recognize the good and the bad, and to appreciate what that means, having that knowledge. So in the coming days, as you are challenged, you can look and simply be grateful that you're having the experience you're having, that it is leading you somewhere, that there is something new unfolding all the time. And that you are always secure with Spirit. And we come back now, lightly, easily, to the beginning, recognizing the divine creator. In the power of that word, we feel the vibration of our connectedness to it, and to all the things around us, to nature itself. And recognizing ourselves as one, we can accept our divine inheritance. We embrace all aspects of who we are. We see that it is possible to love all and judge none. Blessings, rich blessings, come to us through each experience. So we live from the richness and qualities of God. Light, love, life, peace, power, beauty, and joy. And in doing so, we can begin each day with a heart full of gratitude, giving thanks and holding these words close to our hearts. Each time that we start from that place of valuing all that we have, we are given the opportunity to receive what we need through new perspectives. We appreciate you being here. We recognize that this is a personal time, an individual time, and yet in this moment there is a connection of all those present, feeding these words, casting them out into the universe where they expand. Wednesday night, Midweek Mindfulness is just one of many services and opportunities to feel the oneness of God at the Center for Spiritual Living. If you haven't already done so, please check out our website, CSLKC.org. Learn about the people. Learn about who we are and what we stand for. Learn about the activities that are taking place for the benefit of those who come and join us for classes, for workshops, for Sunday lessons, conversations really, for friendship, purpose, and the pursuit of happiness. We thank you. And so it is.